Now I'm going to have to look at Universal Studios passes because they're finally opening Super Nintendo World pretty quick.
Okay, can we talk about that real quick?
We
Yeah.
could talk about that, absolutely.
Yeah, actually, let's do it because it's actually really relevant to the time. So mine actually, 3 of the ones that we have expire on the 1st. And I am going to end up renewing them. And it's because, well, I was going to do it anyway, but going to do it right away because on the 5th, they're offering pass holders the chance to register for a preview of Nintendo World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to renew them right away to have access to that so I can get it. So I will do that.
Yeah, ours don't expire until February, so
Okay, have you done it before? So it's not like a Disney renewal, is it?
no, we haven't had a renewal before, so we don't know how it works.
It's
Okay,
not
so-
that complicated though.
Probably
It's not. It's
They'll
really
probably send us something in an email or something in the mail, and it'll just be like, okay, come on here and renew.
I think my brother's done it. I don't think they give you any kind of reminder. I think you just have to end up buying it again.
Well, that's fine.
Well, that's fine too. I just need to make sure that I do it in time and that it's.
Yeah, you have a time.
I have a time frame. Yeah,
You have
so
time
I'm going to
frame.
end up doing that. But yeah, that's something that's cool and that's coming right away. So I figured, I saw somebody post that, so I was like, well, I was going to do it anyway, but I didn't feel the need to do it right away. But if it's going to open on the 5th, then I want to make sure I have it so I can do that.
Right. Well, we could definitely start the podcast by talking about the announced date.
We already kind of started the podcast, so let's go.
So yeah, let's go ahead and just talk about Universal. What's Disney? What Disney culture? Nah, Universal culture in this house. Yeah. So what's the date? It's
the
February
17th. I just
February
looked it up.
17th.
It's February 17th.
February 17th. Yeah, sounds familiar.
which I believe is a few days before my pass expires. So
Get in on the thing. Get the preview.
Yeah, if we get it in the preview, it's not going to matter. But yeah, so that's going to be I remember I predicted whether they were going to do it in spring break again. They beat me. They beat me to it.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's something to do.
Wrong.
Wonder if it's something to do with the fact that that's just a couple weeks after Toontown opens.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. You know how
they're doing it then because they know that they can work out all the bugs before the spring break crowds really start coming.
I mean,
so
that makes the most sense.
They can kind of work out like what needs to happen, the flow, kind of work out the bugs.
Because they're going to get those previews out of the way at the end of January, beginning of February.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a few weeks.
All done.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, that's what they kind of did for Galaxy's Edge. They gave us like 3 weeks of previews or something, and then opened it to the general public.
They were supposed to have done that for Harry Potter, but I don't know if you guys remember any of what happened to Harry Potter.
So I'll let you do it, but I only heard some comments that people were saying that's what they were supposed to do, but they just started letting in regular guests.
Yes, that's what happened. What happened was that when before Harry Potter's official opening during spring break, they did soft openings starting at noon. They were supposed to be starting at noon. APs were supposed to have exclusive access from opening until noon. And then at noon, they were supposed to allow regular guests into Harry Potter as part of soft openings. Well, that didn't happen. There wasn't enough APs in the morning for them to satisfy their own whatevers. And they just started letting everybody in. And the exclusive AP morning access just completely went out the window. And everybody was pissed. I know I would have been.
I totally would have been. So I was thinking back to, because I just saw some pictures of this as I was sorting through photos on an old computer. The Cars Land preview, 2012.
Oh,
yeah, in 2012, I think it was.
Right.
Where they did that.
That was crazy.
I got into it. We did it, and it was basically early morning hours. It was the what do you call them? The magic hours or whatever.
Right.
And that's when it was. So we got to go around, and I remember it being pretty cool because there was nobody there. And then we got to get on the 3 rides in that hour before the park opened to the general public. And I remember being in there and seeing 2 cast members with just this like after a parade where they have the rope, just walking, and just this mass of people following behind them into the land when we were like, okay, time for us to leave this
You're
land.
like, and we're done.
Yeah,
Oh, bye.
yeah, we walked around, taking
My.
some pictures, rode the rides. It's now time to do something else because here comes the mass of people. But that was pretty cool. I guess all these ideas kind of stem out of that, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I told my sister, who does not really do, like, theme parks aren't her main thing. She likes to go on occasion, but I was like, "Hey, Super Mario World's opening up," and the first thing out of her mouth was, "We're going, we're going." Well, I don't care how we get there, but we have to go because we grew up playing that game and playing not only the first incarnation on NES, but then definitely her favorite was Mario's World with Yoshi and all of that. Like that was her favorite game. So we definitely have to go there and check it out.
And they're really ramping up for it. They have more and more merchandise every day. I've gone twice this month. I went on my birthday, and then I went last Sunday. And in between those 2 days, which was only a span of a week, they had added a completely new building in front of the studio store down on the lower lot, where they started selling the 1-Up, the Power Up sippers, and the Star popcorn bucket that lights up, which were totally unexpected. Nobody expected any of those things to show up until the land opened. They don't have yet the Mario Kart popcorn bucket, but it'll be coming, I'm sure, because they have that elsewhere. Just for anybody's FYI, the Star popcorn bucket, which is about this big. It actually looked, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a purse. It looks like that, but it's about that size. It's $40 for that. As of when we were there, they were only selling it at that one booth, but now it's being sold inside of one of that store, I believe.
Is that the one right across from the Jurassic Park ride?
Yes, the one that has always been there, though. In fact, that store is haunted. In fact, the one right next to the corridor where the bathrooms are.
Yeah.
It's actually across from that new tiki bar. You guys have that new tiki bar that's there, right? Which is very affordable, by the way. I haven't bought anything there yet, but it's very affordable. I'm surprised. All the drinks are basically less than $20, and that's with a tiki mug you get to keep. It's like beats the hell out of anything Disney does as far as tiki mugs. $30 for a tiki mug. Get out of here.
Depending on the mug.
Right? I mean, these are like, they're plastic mugs, but they're still nice, though. They have one that has raptors on them that we really want to get. And it's only like $17 with an alcoholic drink in it. I mean, can't beat that, really. But, yeah, so they've got and then that whole store there is now all just Nintendo Mario merchandise. And then they've got one whole section of the studio store upstairs. When you walk in is all the studio store. On the left, the main long studio store. The first part, that whole corner section, when you first go in on the left, is all Super Mario now.
It has been heading that way for a while, that section.
Yeah, and then that one store on the right when you're going down the main street.
That new one they opened.
That little tiny store on the right that used to be a strictly Harry Potter store. Has been a Super Mario store for about 6-9 months now.
Yeah, it's been a while. Since summertime.
Yeah, and but now they have. Then there's another one out on City Walk. City Walk also has a little store that's been turned into strictly a Super Mario store. So they're getting that merchandise out there. What started out as just a little bit of merchandise is now up to a lot of merchandise. There's definitely some stuff I want to get. Some plushes. There's a plush. I want to get a plush Boo. I want to get a plush Bullet guy. They have a Bomb.
So, I always like that name, Bomb.
Bomb. So yeah, they have some great stuff going on, and then it's just probably going to keep getting more and more leading up to the opening.
Yeah, I like the little, because everybody has like ears now. And I like they have the little boo ones, and they had a couple.
We got the boo ears.
Did you? Yeah, they're super
Yeah.
cute. Like I would wear those. They're adorable.
Yeah, I would wear those before I would wear about 90% of Mickey ears.
Like I started buying some of my Mickey ears on Amazon for like $8, and they're way more comfortable than the actual Disney ears, and they're only $8. So, I know they're really corny, but the Mario hat that they sell that looks like a cartoon hat, like it's real big and fluffy.
Oh, right.
Fun. Like I think that is a lot of fun. I would wear that at the park because I usually have to wear a hat. But I would wear that because I think it's cute. It's corny.
Yeah.
Like
they have. I think we talked about it last time. They have even more of the player 1, player 2 couples merchandise, hats, shirts, whatever you could think of.
That's fun. I would get player 2, but for my sister instead of my husband.
I mean, that's fine. However your couple works out for gaming. I mean.
I grew up as the oldest. I am Mario. And then when they had all the players that you could choose from, she would always choose Princess Peach, but Toad was the best. So I'm going to have to disagree with floating princess and go for Toad every time.
Yeah. So that's any more Universal?
Yeah, I actually have a couple more things Universal. When we went on this last Sunday, I don't know if you guys saw the any of the holiday food that they're offering. They had just, keep up with the trend of us always talking about food. Yeah. They had a hot dog that was this long.
Oh my gosh, I saw that.
You saw it? We had it.
Like, can you give us that? Like, I mean, we're an audio podcast, so can you give us?
It was this big around. It was like ridiculous. I know, obviously, you can't hear that on the audio, but it was like the thickest. And it was an actual hot dog. It wasn't like it was a sausage where they were putting it off as a. It was a hot dog, but it was like a good, the diameter on it. It was like it was thick.
It's a thick boy.
It was a thick boy. It was this long. My complaint about it is the chili on it was basic. It would have been much better without the chili. The bun wasn't quite big enough for the girth of the hot dog. It was just too much. And then the chili was basic. You might as well have thrown some Waltz chili on there.
When this one gets asked, is this made for kids? No, it's not made for kids.
No. I mean, it depends. Like middle school, yeah, you're probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But overall, the hot dog was good. Like I said, it could have been better probably without the chili or a better chili.
Where is this sold?
Different places. They're usually the walk-up stands. The one over there. Actually, 2 of them are right next to the little center court where the Grinch and stuff is.
Yeah.
One's the place on across from where the New Yorkers talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's across from there, and then another one is the little walk up one that's across from what used to be Walking Dead.
I have never been there when it was Walking Dead.
Yeah,
so I'll believe you.
It looks exactly like that. It even comes with its little cool little carrying thing.
Well, it has to, because look at the size of that thing.
It's every bit as big as it looks in the picture. Like I said, the girth. But if you're a hot dog fan, yeah, Diggs would like it. He would have liked it. But
I don't know. I'm not a hot dog fan, so I don't think I could ever eat that.
You'd have to get it plain.
You would have to get that you would probably need to share that with a few people. I can't imagine. Like, you have to be super hungry to eat that much hot dog in one sitting.
I mean, obviously, I didn't eat it by myself.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely enough for 2 people. It looks
like you need a friend.
Yeah, you definitely need a friend. I mean, if you're people that can eat good, then 2 of you suffice. But if you're a little baby eater, then probably 3 people at least.
Well, how much did it cost?
$24.
Okay. That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
No, for that size.
2 or 3 people. Yeah.
But I have had better hot dogs at Knott's. So, but as far as the size goes, and as far as the just overall, I would recommend it.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna believe you on that, because Universal's food is still something that I'm like.
Yeah.
It lacks a little.
No, I mean, as far as that though, I'll just say that the week before for my birthday we went to 3 Broomsticks.
Yeah, that's
They have
better.
the best food on property, right?
That's probably the
Right.
that's
It is
probably the best food on
property. And we had I had the holiday meal, which don't know I hadn't had before, and I don't know if they've had that exact holiday meal before, but it was delicious. I mean, if you had a chance to go and you went to the Three Broomsticks, if you have a chance to go during the holidays and they have it, I highly recommend the holiday meal.
What was it?
It was well, they had a sausage that was wrapped in bacon, but it tasted too much like a breakfast sausage, and surprisingly, it was my least favorite thing on the whole plate because of the fact it didn't really go with everything else. But they did have a turkey with with dressing and gravy and cranberry sauce that was delicious. Surprisingly, there was, and when I first saw the picture, there was a bunch of carrots on the plate, and I was skeptical because I was like, oh, we're gonna pay all that money and it's just gonna be like half carrots. The carrots were delicious. You've never had a better cooked carrot before, I guarantee, than these carrots. They had like a honey sauce or something that they were sweet, and they had the nice texture, and they weren't like overcooked where you get mushy carrots and stuff like that. They were amazing. And then there were the Brussels sprouts. Yes. That one actually doesn't doesn't look as bad. The carrots don't look overwhelming like they do on some of the pictures.
Well,
But
that's like a press picture, and we all know that the press picture and what you get in the park are
if you find some fan pictures, you're going to see that the carrots are more, and that was what worried me. But the carrots were 1,000% worth it, which brings me back to the Brussels sprouts. Now I know
Brussels sprouts.
Wait, give me a second. Give me a second.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Give me a second. Now, see, most people don't.
Oh, I
Most people
love
don't.
them.
And I think now, after my experience, I think the reason most people don't like them is because they don't get them cooked properly.
Oh,
Because these, I went ahead and tried them because I'm like, it's Universal, it's Harry Potter. Let's give it a try. I've never really tried Brussels sprouts from a place that would probably be worth it. They were amazing. Some of them had a little bit too much of the leafy outside, and it tasted like I was eating a leafy outside. It was almost like if you put a tomatillo in your mouth with the leaf part still on, and I'm like, ew, that's weird. But they just basically tasted like I was eating well-cooked broccoli.
Yeah,
I
like Brussels
things
sprouts.
exactly like well-cooked broccoli. But yeah, see, you like Brussels sprouts, so you would love these.
I probably
guarantee you love them because they were so good. They make me want to try Brussels sprouts again, which I never thought I would imagine saying my words. But yeah, it was good. Oh, and by the way, the best part of it all is that they're now selling alcohol in the Three Broomsticks itself. You don't have to go and stand in line and fight over at the Hogshead or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Hogshead. Yeah, I think you're right.
You don't have to go stand in line and fight with people over there. You don't have to guess how much things cost. They are selling 2 of their beers now through the actual Three Broomsticks line. They're even listed on the menu. They even tell you how much they cost. And now you can get a special, the mugs that the butterbeer comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, they're now selling a metal one that you can get butterbeer in. It's really nice, but it's like $35. But it's really nice metal. It's like Stein metal. But for the beer, they're selling a cup that looks exactly like the butterbeer one, but it has the Hogs head logo on one side, and it's only $3 more to get that with the beer than it is just to get the beer.
Oh,
that's it.
And their dark beer the beer that they had was basically kind of like a Killian's Irish Red, and it was I'm not a beer drinker, but it was good. It was good. I would get it again.
So it sounds like it's always been the place to eat.
It has always been the place to eat.
I've heard that and Krusty Burger are probably the 2 places on property that are the best.
Krusty Burger is pretty good.
I haven't eaten there, but I've heard that.
I was watching a vlogger who ate. He went and got some kind of fried dish. I don't even know. The first bite, he like practically spit it out on camera, and he's like, that's inedible. He threw it away and went to the Three Broomsticks. He was like, whatever you do, don't eat this. He's like, it was disgusting. He's like, even theme park food, like it's so bad. And I turned to my husband and he goes, finally, somebody who tells the truth on these things, because most of them just eat through it and they're like, I wouldn't get it again, but it's delicious. And he was just straight up, he's like, this is disgusting. And I'm all, good to know. Don't eat that.
The Three Broomsticks just needs to fix the way they do the lines. It's terrible. Like the way you're in line and then you get told, okay, go up over here to order over here, and then you do, and then just like the space is just used completely wrong. And then walk up to that window and just like, oh, it can be any one of these windows that your food is coming out of. Like it's just
no, they tell you what window you're coming out of.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like the use of the space is terrible.
No, I agree.
There's nowhere to go.
In Florida, they went to a strictly mobile order only, and then when you get there, you put in where you are, and they tell you what table to go to, and then they bring their food to you at that table. They made it like completely different in Florida.
They're big enough now, especially because of Florida. Just because I'm sure that's their. I know that you know Hollywood's the original, but like Florida's kind of the flagship. In fact, even the pass holder stuff is based in Florida. Like when you call to deal with something, you're calling Florida. But they need to get that. Yeah. It's based in Florida.
That's funny.
So what they need to do is, I don't know why they, as big as they're getting now, because people have chosen to go there as a second option, why they can't do any kind of mobile ordering. That's the one thing that I'm like, okay, well, no, there's a few, but like that's one thing I think they could bring over from Disney is like, why don't you guys, you can handle this so much better with a mobile order. Mm-hmm. Like you're showing me the complete menu on the app anyway, and how much things are, but I'm still going to walk up and it's this long old line. Come on, you can do better. I think they should. I think it's something they should consider.
Mobile ordering is very efficient. I mean, still have a standby. That's cool too. Like a lot of Disney places have both, but I like being able to plan and kind of in advance. Like, you know what, I'm going to want to eat in a little while, so I'm just order it from now, and then I could just push it when I'm there, and then I don't have to wait in line. Like it is more efficient, and you can stagger it because mobile ordering is not always like right now. If they're really busy, they'll tell you like, well, you can't get anything from this place for 3 hours. And I just wonder if maybe their fear at Hollywood is that everybody will want it and there won't be any mobile ordering all day. And it's like, okay, well, until you figure it out, maybe.
But you lose nothing.
It does, it doesn't make any sense that they don't have that here. When
it's probably just the infrastructure that they would have to add to accommodate mobile ordering. You got to add a window to every place that has mobile ordering. You got to add signage. It's just something they're not prepared to do. I mean, Universal is good about a lot of things, but when it comes to that minutia that Disney does do well, or at least does adequate, I think Universal's not quite there yet.
But they're trying to be, because they're even trying to implement the pass holder parties. Yeah, we saw that pulled off in the summertime, and it was the first ever time that they've done that. It looks like they're trying to do something again with just as many reservations as they're going to do for this thing, because it seems like they're utilizing the system to have us check out that land before it even opens to the public.
Yeah, because they already know it's going to be stupid down there.
Well, yeah, and then I'm sure I haven't read completely the fine print, but remember there were windows for Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
Like you couldn't come in, and it was supposed to be, and I know people broke this, but it was supposed to be you could spend 4 hours there.
Right.
Is what it was supposed to be. So who knows? Maybe they may be trying to implement something like that, because there's no way they're gonna let, like, okay, I got it, and they're gonna let me just hang out there all day.
They can't, because the land is too small. It's like smaller. I think space area that guests could could stand is smaller than Marvel. Is smaller than Avengers Campus, I believe. But you can't really tell. But
when Marvel opened, there were people camped in there because they wouldn't let you come back. So once you left, you were done. And there were people just like camped in there. And I'm thinking, you've seen unless you're a vlogger and you're trying to make a coin, you've literally, like, you could see everything there is to see in 4 hours anywhere in those small lands. Like, there's with how small Super Mario World is, I can't fathom most people wanting to spend longer than a few hours in just that one space. And they have one ride, and then you can play a little coin game with your little watchy thing.
Yes.
And then what? You're going to take a couple pictures with Princess Peach and bounce, right? Like, I want to go see it, but I can't imagine my sister and I spending 8 hours there. We're going to want to go in, take our picture, ride a ride. And then I don't even know if we'd play the game, because that's not really that's not my thing. And then we'd probably leave. So I think if they did that, that would make the most sense to just kind of cycle people through.
Speaking of the Risty thing, they should be probably selling those probably soon.
Well,
they have to sell them before the AP parties. Right. But I mean, we only know of one entrance to Super Mario Land for sure, and that's the one that's the one's next to Transformers. If there is only one entrance in and out of that land,
I can't imagine there only being one. Like, even for safety reasons.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean, if there's a
Toontown only has one.
Well, Toontown's that's gonna probably buy when new Toontown opens. That's probably gonna bite them.
Where else could you enter?
I don't know. I originally
can't. There's the little.
I originally thought that they were gonna have another entrance that went to the bathroom hallway.
I was gonna say you get rid of that little dino playset that's back there, the little playground that's next to behind the Studio Star, behind that corridor for the bathrooms. You get rid of that and there's a dino playset over there.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, it's like a little playground with dinosaur bones.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was there, but yeah,
I go down that hallway.
I haven't been down that hallway in
years, but the Jurassic Park ride is on the left. And then on the right is like the little play place.
Okay.
So looking at a map, and it looks like in this map there is one entrance and exit through that pipe.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and that kind of makes sense because you're going through the pipe. Because the only other thing you could do was to somehow go around the Transformer building, but that's a long way around.
No, that would be way too long. Like I said, the only way would have been through that bathroom corridor, and I guess if they didn't do that, then I guess through the pipe there by Transformers is the only entrance.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, good luck to them, and I hopefully we can get in during the AP previews, because I don't want to have to deal with that for any time during
the party wasn't hard to get into, right? It just was their glitches on their site, so they better be ready for that, because there was a mess for that party.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of dates.
There's not one theme park that is ready for their sites to not crash. Disney crashes, Knott's has crashed, Universal crashed. They can't handle the amount of people.
But it wasn't even it wasn't the site crashing. It was the fact that it wasn't reading the passes.
Right.
That's what the glitch was.
Some kind of glitch.
It wasn't reading the passes. Yeah, and it was only certain passes. Because if you remember this whole thing, I was able to get everybody else and except mine. And when I did it one at a time, I got them. It was freaking weird. And I got it like at 11 o'clock at night that day. But people had been complaining literally all day. I tried literally all day because remember I was talking to you about it.
Yeah. And you know what? It makes sense because I'm pretty sure that Japan only has the one way in and one way out. Because I've watched a couple of I watched this Canadian, so he's English speaking blogger who lives in Japan, and he's gone a few times, and I think there is only the one way in and one way out there in Japan, so it makes sense. Though I think Japan has 2 rides.
Yeah, you can't really compare here in Japan because Americans are dumb.
Let me tell you, stuff that happens in Japan's parks doesn't make sense as an American, because some of the stuff they do there seems really, like, I don't know, not necessarily rude, but like just completely different. So you're right, and it's not just like, oh, Americans are rude. Entitled. That's the word I think I would use.
That's probably that's probably
definitely
better.
Entitled.
Like I was what was it? We were watching something that wasn't here. Oh, I was watching I've been seeing these videos on YouTube of people who go around little apparently in Germany, apparently in not United States, where there's little plazas and stuff that, where there's no cars, they set up winter festivals where there's a booths and it's like a county fair but for Christmas. And people just walk around and there's food and there's camaraderie and it's nice and there's things that
the Festival of Lights.
And I'm like we could never have anything like that here.
We have the Festival of Lights. What are you talking about?
And they have it in New York. They have the same thing. It's like the Giacomo Festival. It's some Italian festival there. But they have it in New York, and we definitely have the Festival of Lights, which is a really fun thing to do. Have you ever been? Because it is so much fun.
No, but I'm sure it's not as good as the thing I saw in the things I've been seeing in Germany.
No, I guarantee you it's not.
I've never been to Germany.
I guarantee you it's not. Because you can do all that and still go.
All I know is that watching these several videos that I've seen of live walking around these little festivals, these little winter festivals, if you ever go to Germany, it has to be during Christmas time because it just seems like that's the best time to go.
I think that there's a lot of really cool things at Christmas that happen that, doesn't happen anywhere else. And having been to Italy in summer, definitely do not recommend that one. So it was hot.
But they were walking around and there was a bunch of wood carvings. Like somebody took a stump and then made a carving in it. And there was a dude with a giant nose, and I immediately said, if that was here, that nose would have been broken off already. That's American culture, is that they can't people can't just break stuff. Either a kid would have already went up and broken it. All of those statues would have gum stuffed in them. Just different various things that we know that Americans do. And just like, it's just the best example will always be that robot, came to Philadelphia looking for friendship and it gets thrown into a damn fountain. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No. That
robot that was roaming around the whole world making friends. And then it gets to the United States and goes to Philadelphia and somebody throws it into a fountain and breaks it. It went around thousands of miles around the world in Europe with no problems. And then it gets to the United States and somebody breaks it. That is the United States, and that is American in a nutshell right there. You can't even have a robot. That's why the robots were pulled from Galaxy's Edge and Tomorrowland, because people were good to break them. Because Americans are horrible. All right, so I think is there anything else about Universal? We could actually move on to what this podcast is supposed to be about? Disney?
No, but this is a Disney podcast, so has anybody even been to Knott's? I don't go.
So I have not been to Knott's. I do want to go, but we were going to Disney because our passes were going to be blocked for a while. So we were going to Disney, but I do want to go walk around Knott's. I think we're going to go on the 26th because Knott's is closed on Christmas Day. And my husband's off on the 26th. So I want to go and take pictures. I took a bunch of pictures at Disney. I just haven't uploaded them yet because I am lazy and I didn't get around to it, but I definitely want to go take pictures there. I have a friend who went and they did Santa Snoopy in the morning, and then her daughter went back and stood in line and did Santa later that morning because Santa Snoopy leaves at like 10 and then Santa comes, and they had a great time. She said that it was a lot of fun. Everybody was super cool. Wasn't as busy as she expected. Her daughter loved it. It was really well decorated in Santa's little house, which it usually is. The food was really good, which is nice because I feel that Knott's does the best food. Sometimes they slip, but I think that Knott's a lot of their food offerings are really tasty. So I personally haven't gone, but there's my report of Knott's Berry Farm through a colleague and friend at work.
My mom went last Sunday, and they had some nice holiday pins.
Oh, that's cool.
That were really pretty. A lot of nice colors. They certainly looked better in person than they did in their original photos. But yeah, other than that, I have really nothing on Knott's. She got her AP ornament, which was kind of like.
You know what? I have to go and get that because I got one and I haven't gone to pick it up.
Yeah, it's a train.
Yeah, it looked cute.
Yeah, it's all right.
Before I've never
The crowd,
gone before.
the craftsmanship on it could have been better, but
Yeah, it's
fine. Exactly. But yeah, so
somebody showed the somebody live streamed the Snoopy on Ice. It was cute. It always is cute.
yes.
So I'll tell you where the ornament. Since you brought up ornaments, I got a Club 33 one.
Oh yes. Well,
when I went. So it is the emerald. It's the emerald anniversary of Club 33. So it's got the logo, and then it's green.
Cool. That's
it's
cool.
green and it's on the back. It says Club 33 Emerald Anniversary.
That's cool. Lucky going during that time. That's like when we went for Diggs' birthday. That time it happened to be during the 60th. Mm-hmm. So they had a bunch of Club 33 60th merchandise, which was cool.
Yeah, so I did go for the first time ever to Club 33 last week. I will not really tell you how I got in because I don't want that person.
You knew a person who knew a person who knew a guy who had a thing who got you.
I'll tell you what, that is the only way to get into Club 33, so is to know a person who knows a person who knows a person.
Well, last I checked, Dan ain't got no Club 33 membership money. Our raise wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Nor do I have the 10 years to wait. Right. But no, you know a person who knows a person. That's what it was. So I got hit up and say, hey, I saw you did this. Like, let's go. I said, yeah, count me in. Yeah, you just tell me when, and I'll be there. I'll make time
the money. You can't say no.
Yeah, so I was like, let's go. So it was during the week. It was an 8:00 reservation. And we've been there before. How many times, Anthony? Just the once?
Technically, well, I mean, are you counting working too?
No.
I worked in there one night when I worked at Disneyland, but no, I've been there twice. We got into the lounge once only.
Okay. The members only lounge. Okay.
Yeah, we got into the members only lounge, and we also got into the 1901 lounge that same day.
But it has been a while since you've been, so it's.
But yes, when we ate there, it was for Diggs' birthday, and it was in the year of the 60th. So that's how long ago that was.
And it's been redone since then. Is that correct?
I believe that it had just been redone.
Okay.
But yes, it's been redone since then. Yeah, when they redid it and moved the lounge and made the lounge the original dining room. No, not the lounge was what used to be a storage area, I guess. Mm-hmm. And the original dining room was completely remodeled. That was just before we had went, but then they have done remodeling since then.
Okay. So the entrance now is where Court of Angels is.
Right.
So the iconic door right next to Blue Bayou was nothing. I don't know what it is right now.
The elevator is still there, but nobody uses that elevator anymore.
No, in fact, no. The elevator that they have, and we did take it. The elevator, we were advised to take it since it was our first time. It's a different elevator than it was. The elevator behind the original door is not so ADA accessible.
Right.
That's actually what they were telling. Because I was asking, and there were loads of information these people have, by the way, just loads of information. But they did take some of the stuff from the original elevator and place it in the new one. But it is a new elevator that's more ADA.
The original elevator is a booth now in the dining room.
Is it?
In the lounge or in the dining room? Yeah, the original elevator was turned into a booth.
Okay. Well, I couldn't get back in that area because the member wasn't with us.
Yeah, that might be in the lounge.
Okay. Again, there's two separate areas. So there's a lounge that you have to have the member with you in order to go into, and then the dining area.
Right.
They're two separate places. So yeah, he hit me up and I said, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So 8:00 dinner. It takes a long time.
Should if they're invited to Club 30.
Like I said, if you have the money, then
I mean, if you have the money, I understand.
If you have the money and the time. Don't be like certain people, not to be named, who go to a Club 33 dinner with no money and then expect other people to foot the bill for you or cover your tip anyways. I won't name any names, but Dan might know who I'm talking about.
Anyway.
Well, Dan paid for his.
I paid for mine.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But
Um,
did you get the? Did they give you the hot towels before you got in the elevator?
no, I didn't get a hot towel before I got in the
Oh,
elevator.
weird. Because when we went in before we get in the elevator, uh, which is to the left as you walk in,
Yeah.
they gave us little hot towels to hot towels or cool towels. I don't remember. Hot towels or cool towels. They gave us They gave us towels and they gave us cups of water while we were waiting. Because we had to wait a few minutes before we got in the elevator. I don't know. Maybe you didn't have to wait, or did you get up right away?
No, I waited a little bit in the Court of Angels. But they
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of know
So
you take that's a time to take pictures and stuff because
right.
they even offer to take pictures for you of like your group, which I gotta get. I didn't even get the group photo, by the way. I have to bug them about that. But we took a bunch of photos, and then they come out and say, okay, your table's ready. Like, here's kind of how it works and what we're doing. And they asked us, are you guys celebrating anything? And it happened to be my brother's birthday was just a few days before. So I said, yeah, his birthday was a few days ago. Like, sure, we're celebrating that. Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, asking his name. Head on up the elevator, and then they give us a little bit of history about stuff. And then we waited at the maitre d' station we weren't in there that long, just a couple of minutes. And then we're taken back to our table. So our table was in the main dining room, just a couple of tables in front of a table or two away from the balcony doors, which terrible viewing, by the way, for Phantasmic. Terrible viewing on that side. It was not. There's a trees right there, but it was just kind of cool to go out there and see what you can see, and to know this is where I'm at, to kind of look out on the crowd. That was pretty cool. But to actually view Phantasmic from that spot,
That's cool. We were there during the day, so when we went on the balcony, it was still light out.
Mm.
We took pictures, but it was the daytime, and obviously Phantasmic wasn't going on. So that's kind of cool that you got to experience that at the night
twice, because dinner's so long. I got to see, but we heard the fireworks.
Oh wow!
Both
Nice
showings of Phantasmic. Oh yeah, I don't know what lunch takes, but dinner took 3.5 hours. That's how long dinner took.
It's an experience.
Oh, it was a whole experience.
It is an absolute experience.
Yeah, 4-course meal. Dinner was really good. I can't pronounce half the stuff that I ate. that's the fine dining thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a glance at the menu in your pictures, and I was like, oh yeah, they've definitely changed the menu since we were there last.
Well, he told us our waiter told us that the chef that's there now, they stole her from the Napa Rose.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, she was the one from the Napa Rose, and he
Does it look
said,
like it was a seasonal menu too? Because it seemed to have some Christmas flair to it.
It was a very definite seasonal menu, which and I understand that's how it works. They do change the menu seasonally, because even who I went with has been there a couple of times before and was like,
cool.
yeah, first of all, I don't know what this stuff is either. And then it was like, but I'm willing to try because it's different stuff on the menu. And the thing about it is, I didn't know what all of it was on the menu, but you're willing to try it because it's like, well, I'm here and this is what they offer. So I like this as the main course. And like, I guess I'll just try the rest of this.
Dinner's automatically 4 courses, or do you have a choice between a 3 and a 4?
No, it's automatically 4 courses.
Okay. See, for lunch, when we went for lunch, you had a choice between a 3 and a 4.
Lunch is a very different menu than dinner,
I think. Yeah, it is.
That's what it's a very different menu than dinner.
Although I still got quail for lunch.
It's also.
I think with fine dining, it really doesn't matter what you're eating. It is cooked so well that I don't know, like, if there's ever something that's really bad, because it's usually cooked in some type of sauce or butter or cream or something. It's usually incredibly, like, just flavorful and amazing. I've only had, like, fine dining a couple times in my life, not at Disney, but I've had it before. And I don't really like seafood, but even the seafood was amazing. Like, it's just always, in my opinion, my limited experience, it's just good because
you taste every flavor. Yeah. Every flavor comes out in everything, and there's things that you think, does that work? The things that I did know is that going to work together? Those flavors, and then you taste it, and you're like, oh my god, like that does. That works
together.
Yeah,
it does work together.
By definition, Club 33 is probably my only experience with fine dining too. So yeah, I could definitely relate with that. I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, not much to say there. I mean, the menus and stuff I put on what I ate and I put online, but just the
Oh,
experience was.
I was gonna ask, if I may, how
Hmm?
much it was, because I want to compare. I want to gauge how much the prices have gone up since we were there
130.
for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, actually not that much, because one dinner when at the time that we went for Diggs' birthday was 120.
Hmm.
We paid, I think, 105, I believe, for lunch. For the, I believe, the three, or I don't remember which course. It might have been the 4 course, because I think the 3 course was 90 or something like that. So yeah, no, actually, no, that's not bad. That's not
No.
bad. If I remember correctly, the dinner when we went was 130. So yeah, that's actually not too bad. In what, 7 years? 7 years gone by since we went. So that's
So
actually not terrible.
in the inflation calculator, you said 120 or 130?
120. I'm pretty sure it was 120 when we went
So
for
in 2015, $120 would be this equivalent to $150 today. So
okay.
didn't
Very
even
good.
touch inflation.
Right?
The only place they decided to overcharge on other stuff.
Right, exactly. If it was anywhere else in the park, it would be 150 by now.
Well, rich people are usually pretty cheap. That's how they
Okay,
stay
so
rich.
let's speak on that for a second. So I'm fully aware you go and you see people who are just, made of money. They just have money. That's not really what I saw.
So you
Like,
saw people who got invited by people
yeah,
who invited for a company,
right. And I mean,
and
I
this
got
was their
invited.
special treat.
Right, I got invited and was told that we do have a dress code and like you're supposed to wear, slacks and a collared shirt. So I did wear a tie only because I had a Jack Skellington tie, and I was like, what an appropriate time to wear it.
Mhm.
Christmas time to do this. So I wore a shirt and a tie. The other people in my party had on, yeah, just slacks and a collared shirt. But then I see some people walk in who it looks like they got their collared shirt off the clearance rack at Target, and like you literally like that was stuffed in your bag until you needed to come to dinner to put on that shirt because it's no like you got jeans on and a t-shirt underneath that, and then just tennis shoes. I'm like, okay.
Dan, there's a sect of people in this country that have no class and don't
That's really high
understand
class.
the proper ways to act in certain environments, especially when you've been granted such a great honor to be able to go into the exclusive club that is 33.
Yeah, and then I mean, other people were just nicely enough. It was described to me when I got there. I met up with the rest of the party. It's more of a California casual kind of thing than anything else, just because
Yes.
that is California. But that's fine. Even California casual is a little bit more dressed up than these
California
people from
casual,
Norco.
like Dickies
You
and a polo shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
I mean, but a polo shirt can work because one of the members of our party did have on a polo shirt,
Right.
but he had on a nicer pair of jeans, dress shoes, and a jacket that was appropriate for the situation. And it was just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
fine.
there are people who walk in there in their, Dickie shorts and cargo shorts and their
And
Disney t-shirts.
I do understand it at lunchtime that kind of is allowed.
Like,
But the funny part actually of all this was here I am speaking about dress code, and my brother had on he wears a little hat, not a baseball cap. It's like a little
a news cap.
newsboy cap.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And he was specifically told, so we don't wear hats in the dining room, so you can either we'll check that for you, because they did check my backpack, or you can just hold it, but there's no hats allowed in the dining room. Of all that, it's the hat that you're okay, that's fine.
Because I think that was a very 30s, 40s, 50s
That's fine.
kind of thing. And the stuff that people carry over from what Walt would have wanted, except for smoking and editing, photoshopping all of his pictures so that they don't know that the guy smoked. But that's the kind of stuff I think that they carry over from like Walt's generation, is that no hats when you're dining or something. But if you want to wear a cheesy looking t-shirt and some cargo shorts during the lunch hour at an exclusive club, come on in. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And that's why he just was like, well, my head was cold, that's the reason I had a hat. Like, yeah, because he wears that hat all the time over there at night, so that's fine, because he's got no hair, so it's very thin, so his head gets cold.
That person myself. So like I almost if I'm out, especially at like Disney, I always have a hat on. So I get that. Like I'm a hat person.
Yeah, but the experience was pretty cool. I would do it again. Yeah, I would definitely do it again.
No way.
Hopefully will. But it was a lot of fun, and I feel yeah, well, just maybe we'll see. Let me work my way into that one. Again, I've not given the name of the person because again, I just don't want them to be bombarded by their generosity. Yeah, and that because no, you'd be surprised. People like I posted some stuff, and my brother did some pics, and people, how do you get in? No, I'm not telling you that. I'm not. You have to know somebody who knows somebody. That's it. That's my answer. Like I'm not gonna say it was this person because you don't need to be hitting them up and be like, hey, no.
Hi, random person I've never met before. I really want to go to this really exclusive place at a theme park.
I know.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Come on, man.
But that's what people are trying. You can tell that's what they want to do. Yeah. How did you get in?
Famous thing. That's the one thing that bothers me. It's like if you're invited somewhere like that, that's one thing, but you don't seek that out.
No.
Like, to me, that's not something you seek out. I'm not.
And I didn't even do that because I know this person has gone before, and I've never bothered them about that. They came to me and said, "Hey, I want to take you. Do you want to go?"
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you get a chance to talk to the Vulture?
Yeah. Okay. So, that was weird actually, and it was completely by accident. So by the time we were finished with dinner, and then we came and looked at the merch and stuff, and they go through and they kind of one at a time for merch, right? As they ring it up and stuff.
Right.
Picked up my bag at a claim check. So I was talking to the maitre d's about and the hostesses just about the stuff. I was asking about some of the parts of the club and the chandelier and all kinds of because some of the stuff was taken from the original entry. And moved in there, and they moved a lot of stuff and had repurposed it in the new club since the remodel. And I was asking about the grandfather clock and the Vulture. I can't remember his name, but he's decorated right now for Christmas because he has on the scarf and the top hat.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then I was talking to them, and then I had said something to my host, the person who had taken me in, and he said something, and then the Vulture answered him, and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And he said, "What?
You didn't know he talked?"
Yeah. Well, I did, and he talked.
Okay.
And they told me he talks at random times, like he speaks when he wants to. Which, if you haven't seen the TikTok that I made, I literally put that on the thing. He speaks when he wants to, because he did. It was quiet most of the time, and then we happened to be in there, and he spoke a few times. But that time, the first time I actually heard him talk was when he answered our host. Like who just randomly said something about something he was looking at, and the Vulture answered. And I was like, "Did you hear that?" Well, he heard you say this, and this was his reply. And then the hostesses were like, "Well, yeah, he answers when he wants to," the kind of thing. So that was actually kind of cool.
That's cool.
But it was like, oh, this animatronic thing that moves and just talks like, apparently randomly, but obviously there's somebody's,
right.
dealing
Yeah,
with
I've met the guy who's the voice of the Vulture. He's also the announcer on the Mark Twain, the guy who does the voiceover on the Mark Twain. His name is Steven Stanton. He's the voice of Grand Moff Tarkin in Rebels.
Okay. So what is it? Just pre-done phrases, or
I don't know
kind of like Potato Head?
It would have to be all pre-done phrases. I just don't really know how the responses work. Are they really random, or is there somebody sitting in a little room effing with you?
Kind of like the guy from the freaking outlaw from Knots,
right?
You can see the what I mean in the jail. I don't know because it was
with Turtle Talk.
I don't remember what he said, but the reply from the Vulture was definitely in response to that, but it was kind of generic too. Like it just fit in, but I was like, did I hear what I heard? Like he answered you, and I was like, I'm losing it, right? Like he really did answer you. I mean, it was relevant, but it wasn't like really in depth, really detailed. So for all I know, it could have been a pre-programmed phrase. It just happened to go with what.
Like astrology, it fits just enough.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not necessarily for you.
Right, but it was pretty. But it was cool.
Something with a B.
Yeah.
Bob, Becky, Baker.
Right. So so that was my experience. Like I said, wonderful experience. By the time we walked out, the park was closed. It had just closed. Like we heard as soon as we walked out, like less than a minute later, Disneyland has ended its normal operating day. Just walk out, and I got home about 1 o'clock in the morning and went to work the next day. Because
Luckily,
it was
we didn't do
finals.
much there, so you did
Yeah.
not have to be present mentally.
Right. No, and I was not, let me tell you. It, it was finals. We were there last night too, as we record this. Last night was the last night for pass holders before we're all blocked now, and some of them were blocked sooner, right?
Yeah, the peasant passes. The lower passes have been blocked out for a while now. The only pass that isn't blocked out, there are still some people who have a dream pass.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying that, and I didn't look because I don't have that pass anymore, but that there weren't any reservations for it. So even if you have one, if you didn't already schedule your reservation, you're probably not getting one. But I'm curious to see how having pretty much zero pass holders in the park goes. And then I'm also wondering who's like if any pass holders are buying tickets because
Oh, I'm sure.
some people get therapy because it's okay to not go to Disney every day. Like I don't know if they know this, but you can take a break. Like there's other things to do. This is Southern California that we have parks and beaches. There are even other theme parks. I'm shocked. And at first I thought it was satire, but then the more I've read comment sections, I don't think it's satire. I think people are really like genuinely upset that they can't go to Disney for the next 2 weeks.
Have you met the internet?
Personally,
met...
I haven't met them specifically, but yeah, I guess I just always underestimate people. I guess I'm looking like at things differently. Cause yeah, I love Disney. I love Knott's. I haven't been there as much as I'd like, but this has been a very stressful semester at work for me, and I've been trying to like juggle some things, but I enjoy going, but I'm not over here crying in my Wheaties because I can't go to Disneyland on Christmas morning or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, first of all, you don't live close enough to want to go every day because that would be dumb.
Yeah, she does.
Well, I live about.
Well, you live close enough. Dan definitely doesn't.
No.
I guess.
Just a little bit farther. I live about 20 to 30 minutes from Disney, and if you include like parking and getting into the park, it could be anywhere between 40 minutes and an hour.
It's still
far enough.
It's still gas.
Yeah.
Which is better now. Gas is better price now.
Mm-hmm.
Is more I wish gas prices would have been like this when Rebecca was working at Disneyland, but that is what it is. But yeah, I mean, if people who have money seem to have, well, I mean, entitlement, we can just same old people. I
really feel that like there are a huge group of people who do use Disney to like forget and escape whatever their actual problems are. Because when I go to Disney, yeah, I do forget that I have a lot going on, but that doesn't make those problems disappear forever. So like therapy is good too. And maybe we just
amazingly Disney costs less than therapy.
I do both, so I do understand how expensive both are, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, it sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, but I also know that there are a lot of people who travel, and I still think that Disneyland really wants to be a destination park. They're never going to be Florida, but I think that they're really trying to draw like maybe the West Coast crowd to come to Disney at Christmas and make it a destination. Problem being, the hotels are so expensive even, I mean, Florida has cheaper options than we do. Even the good neighbor hotels are obscenely expensive right now. And I was checking into them because there was a chance I was going to have to like get a hotel local for one reason or another. And I was floored by how expensive they are. And I know it's Christmas. I get that. But I mean, even like the cheaper hotels were just really incredibly expensive. So I don't know if this is going to work the way Disney wants it to, but we'll see. I think they really are hoping that a bunch of pass holders will buy tickets. But if you look, Sweetheart Night and Princess Night have not sold out yet.
They just went on sale today for the general public.
Right, but they've been on sale since the 12th for pass holders.
They only allow a certain amount of those anyway, right? Because they sell out of the pass holder ones, and then
wait. I don't think they went on sale today for the general public because our friend
I saw somebody posted just a little while ago.
Oh,
that I know is not a Disney pass holder.
Tickets for Sweetheart Night for her birthday. So maybe she was just gonna buy them when they went on sale, but I thought she already did. So my bad. My phone is busy, so I can't Google it. I'm images from my camera.
Some of the not After Darks have sold out. Some of them haven't. I mean, Star Wars always sells out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sweethearts sold out before. I don't think it's always sold out.
I don't think so, but I think it's done pretty well. It's popular.
There's multiple dates.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 dates of Sweethearts Night. It would be impossible for it to. I mean, and it's not impossible for it to sell out because Halloween sells out. But people are skeptical of too. Especially did the prices go up again?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
But I didn't.
$50 now.
The only After Dark event that we went to was Star Wars Night, and that's only because my husband loves Star Wars more than anything.
Well established.
I have to be honest with you. It was cool. Like, and I'll go again. Like, I just told him we can't go when I'm working the Universal trip for work because I don't want to miss out on that money this year. It's a lot of coins.
Pays for half your pass.
Yeah, it's very it's a nice chunk of change, and it's so we have to reschedule like when if they do it again, which I can't see they not doing because it was wildly popular. I won't even go to Oogie Boogie. I'm not really a Halloween person. I wish I was, but I'm not, so I won't really go to Oogie Boogie. Friend went to Villains Night last year, said it was horrible, and she would never pay for that again. Heard mixed reviews about Sweethearts Night, but I think it got more positive than a lot of the other stuff. Princess is new. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of really cool like special stuff. So unless you're like super into princesses, I can't imagine, or you just want to walk onto rides. Like I totally get it. If you don't go to Disney and you want to go to an after hours event just so you can ride all the rides with hardly any wait times, like I get that.
I think the thing is, and the reason that if you say pass holders have had pre-sale for all this time, those things aren't for pass holders anymore. They've priced pass holders out of them by making them so much more expensive for an additional event. Pass holders are already paying thousands of dollars for their passes. Why are pass holders going to pay another $150? It's for the bloggers. They're trying to it's all for the bloggers. It's all for the bloggers.
They're
the only ones that care about the
live stream, and I'll watch them. It's like I was there.
Because they've priced. If those things are like up to like 150 now, it's the same with Oogie Boogie. Those things are all like the price point on them is just like ridiculously high. It's like if you're someone who doesn't have a pass, it makes sense because it's the same as buying a day pass, even though you don't get a whole day out of it, but you get a special thing, I guess. But
yeah, and the lines are super short because like Dan talked to some people who went last year for, was it Star Wars Night, Dan?
Yeah.
And they rode all the rides that night because they were walk-ons.
Ironically, they're now pass holders.
I know. That's funny.
They were a
They got
couple
that
who managed
24-hour
yeah,
window.
that window of Magic Keys. They actually got them, and I ran into them again actually the other day.
Oh, did you run into
Yeah,
them?
yeah. Friday. Yeah, we were walking off cars, and I hear my name, and I turn around, and there they were. They were in the. They did what we did, which was get in the single rider line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're okay with splitting up, I mean, the single rider line is much faster. I think the longest I've ever waited for cars for single rider was maybe 30 minutes, and
I
that's
mean,
when the
yeah.
line was like 120 or something.
I think
So
we waited like 15 minutes. It
yeah.
wasn't that long at all. And my daughter and I ended up, and this isn't the intention, it never is. My daughter and I ended up in the same car. She ended up sitting in front of me. It really is just because it's like, I don't want to wait in that. We're old enough that it's like, it's okay if we,
Yeah.
if we split up.
I ended up in a really good position because the family that I got stuck riding with, they were super cool, but their little kids started freaking out, and so they asked me to like move around with them so their kid wouldn't freak out as much, and I ended up with like the front, like good position. I'm
On
all,
the driver's seat.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah. No, it doesn't bug me. Most of the people I ended up riding with are fine. Because what it is like, it's dumb because they made that ride so, and I know it has to do with width of the car, but they made it so it's an odd number, a 3 and 3. That's an odd number for that. So a family of four, has to fit in. Yeah, has to fit in. The front seat and the back seat because that's just how it works. So you got a pretty high chance of riding in the same car if you're splitting up your family to get on that ride. It happens actually pretty often.
Mhm.
So
Wasn't that
it's
the
fine.
complaint about the Millennium Falcon 2 was the weird number of seats?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's 6, but yeah. I mean, it is. I've been in there with 5 and not have them filled from a single rider because there's a single rider for that too. Last night, as a matter of fact, we got on that last night, and if you've got anything over 4, you guys are taking over the cabin. For the
Right.
most part. Sometimes they'll put a party of 2 in with you, which is what happened to us last night. Sometimes they just set it to automatic, and sometimes they'll do a couple of single riders. But more often than not, we're pretty much by ourselves. Especially if you have 5. If you have 5, the chances of you actually getting somebody else from isn't very high.
I don't remember because the only time I've been on that ride was with you.
Yeah, and we filled up the cabin, right?
And we filled up the cabin, yeah.
Yeah, because it was 4 of us and then 2 of you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, because that worked out perfectly.
Yeah, that totally is the best way to do it. But if you have at least 5, you're probably not going to pull up anybody else. And sometimes, like yesterday, the 2 that were and if you tell them you're a party of 4, well, and you get 2 more, they're not the pilots. I'll tell you that much. That's not going to happen. No, you're gonna be an engineer.
I was with a family, Aaron and I, because we were a party of 2, and the family was a party of 4, and we were the ones in the back, the engineer. I don't know, the one that everybody doesn't like. I like that. It's the least amount of anxiety for me. I was the pilot once, and I'm okay with never being the pilot again. There's so much pressure because depending on if you're with your family, it's one thing.
Yeah.
If you're not with your family, some people take that ride way too seriously.
So my son actually likes being a gunner. Like he does not want to be a pilot. He likes being the gunner. And so last night my daughter was actually like, I think I want to try being a pilot. Okay. So my brother was like, he's not a fan of it either. Sometimes it falls to us by default because the kids both want to be gunners. But last night she said, "Oh, I want to do this," and I said, "Okay." So I asked him, "What do you want to do?" He's all, "I don't care." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll just sit in the front seat with my kid." I gave her the left right one though, just to go left right instead of the up down, because up down, you know how it's down is up is down. Like it confuses a lot of people, and then it's so sensitive that you have to be careful. Even left right, you have to be careful because it's really sensitive. You jerk over to the left, like you pull over, it's a hard little tiny bits.
I'm probably fine never flying. The only reason I want to fly is because I want a better view, but I'm also scared of flying because I don't know if I want that responsibility.
I'm telling you, my anxiety is odd. Like it comes out on really weird times. I don't want to fly the Millennium Falcon, and I don't want to bag and check my own groceries. There's a lot of pressure in that position, and I don't want it. But you know what? I'll teach a room of 36 middle and high school students. I got that.
See, the thing about bagging and checking your own groceries is that the anxiety of that is less than the anxiety of dealing with a checker.
Anyway, back to Disney. What else do we have to talk about that? I mean, honestly, I just through circumstances have been there 4 times in the last week and a half, which is a record for me. I went for my brother's birthday in the pouring rain, by the way. But
you had fun. Well, you guys knew you were going in the rain, and you dressed appropriately. You had the right equipment, and so
we went for breakfast. And Anthony, I don't know if I posted this on my Instagram, but like, so we ate at Galactic Grill. It's not bad. And the breakfast burrito they serve is actually pretty good, and it's the price of a breakfast burrito anywhere else.
If it's the breakfast burrito that they've had, going back to, well, I had a breakfast burrito there on the 24-hour party, so I don't know if it's the same one.
Eggs,
but they've
bacon,
had
sausage, hash brown, cheese.
Sounds like it. If it's at least similar to the same one that I had on the 24-hour party, and then I think I came there and had one once before. Yeah, it's good. It's basic. Yeah. You can't really mess that up.
No, you can't. But it's
if you have a bottle, if you have just happen to have a small bottle or some real hot sauce to put on it, then great. I mean, if I could put some pico pica in there, that would be fantastic. But I mean. Yeah. If I can't, then, I mean, either way, it's still good.
Yeah, it was the same price as a breakfast burrito anywhere else, and it was a good size. Like, I thought it was very tasty. I would totally eat there again.
It also had good girth.
Much like the hot dog.
Breakfast burrito over that chimichanga. I don't like the breakfast chimichanga. I don't think it's that good at all. So, and I really prefer the breakfast Ronto wrap to the other one. I'm not a huge fan of a regular Ronto wrap.
So I told Gina this one when we were still at work. I had the regular one, and it was good, but it was like nothing to write home about. It was okay.
So your first time having it?
Yeah, I've never had one.
Oh wow!
Because I always thought the sausage was kind of spicy. And I have to.
Oh, you don't like spicy?
No, it's not like I don't like it. I have to watch it because sometimes it doesn't like me.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't like me.
It fights you back.
Yes, it fights back.
Amazing if the meat is not like overcooked too much. The breakfast one is superior. Do you not like it because you don't like the cabbage on the regular one? Is that your reason, or?
I think the regular one's just mediocre at best. I just really like I think the breakfast one, I like the texture of it, and I like the flavors.
I mean, for basically the same price, you're getting so much more with the breakfast one, because with the regular one, you're just getting meat, sauce, and cabbage, and then the pork or whatever on the sides. The breakfast one, you're getting most of all that, plus you're getting egg, and the egg just brings so much more like texture. Like you said, the texture it adds is, if I had to get up, it used to be that the only thing that would get me to go to Disneyland early was the River Bell breakfast. But the Ronto wrap is definitely a good another reason to go to Disneyland early.
Surprisingly good.
I think it's before 10, right? Only, or is it 11? 10:30?
Maybe it's 10:30.
I don't know what the time is. It's early enough for people that are not early people.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard that, so that's definitely on the list of things to try. But we just wanted to try a different experience because we'd never done it, and then ended up getting pouring rain. Well, for the rain, the worst part of it actually was on the freeway. Actually, I think I caught the worst of the rain on the freeway. It did rain for most of the morning, but not only heavy at kind of one point for a few minutes, and then it wasn't as heavy, but it kept raining. Well, we were set. We had umbrellas, and we have actual rain jackets. My backpack is waterproof, even, so we were set for it. We were getting into. We were home by, and I think we left at like 2:00, and we got there a little after rope drop. Didn't quite make rope drop because I couldn't get through on the freeway. I was driving pretty slow.
Pretty bad. Yeah. And the freeways were pretty flooded. We're just not used to that kind of rain around here.
On the 22 before the 5, kind of in the area where Chalk and St. Jude are at. Man, there was a huge puddle. Just that's where everything drained off. The bridge. That's where the bridge drains off onto the freeway.
Yeah, wonderful engineering. Good job.
That's the bridge drains off onto the freeway. So there was this huge puddle, and there was no traffic because it was a Sunday morning. So I'm literally slowed down to about 25 miles an hour on the freeway, and just was like, veer over to the left, go around that big puddle, and back on and onto the 5. It was freaking ridiculous. It's like, yeah, my brother was like, that bridge drains right into the freeway. That's wonderful. That's a smart idea. Anyway.
Good job, Caltrans.
Yes.
Right. So.
Yeah, the engineering was sound. And you know what? That freeway was built a long time ago when I think we had more rain. So I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. So that's it for my experience in the parks. I mean, I've done a lot, but that's most of the same stuff we've talked about before. I didn't do anything crazy different other than the 33 thing.
I mean, that's pretty up there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like you said, I'm kind of.
I mean, face the fact that you may never go again.
Yeah,
I don't know how in you are with the person, or you are with the person, but just, you have to face that fact that once you've gone, that you may never go again, and that says experience you have to remember. Because I'm going to face the fact that I may never go again.
I'm gonna tell you, I probably will go again.
Oh, good for you.
That's the relationship that we have, but it's not gonna be a monthly thing, anything like that. It's gonna be, kind of sporadic kind of thing where.
Well, then screw you, Dan.
So no, it's definitely no. It's something to be kind of treasured and only do once in a while, kind of thing. It just makes it that much more special than if it were done all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now your goal is to get them to get you then into 1901.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I asked about that, and they were concerned with the menu. It's like I feel like it's a lot more appetizer-y type things, and
it's not you don't go there for dinner. It's kind of a sit around and drink, and
invite me. I'll do it.
1901 is cool. 1901, there's a lot of couches. And little like
Carthay, like that's why I love Carthay's al fresco, which is the bar. I love it.
It's part of Carthay, so it has the same aesthetic as Carthay. It's just a completely different room of Carthay, and it has a lot of that just like old Hollywood aesthetic of just sitting around drinking, but I believe they do have appetizers there, because I think David got some fries or something when we were in there, but
how does he, like, he's such a picky eater?
I don't know. Somebody got fries. I remember we got fries up at Club 33 Lounge, but
really,
they're the same.
All the way to Club 33.
They're the same pommes frites that they serve downstairs at the French Market, which is hilarious. It's hilarious. Anyways. Yeah, no, 1901 is very loungy. In fact, there's a bar with bar stools that have Walt and Lily's name on the back, and then Roy and whatever his wife's name on the back. And that's pretty cool. There's a lot of old photos, and there's a very Walt's office type aesthetic in there with little models and pictures on the wall. But if you get a chance to go in there and just sit around, I know that one's hard because I don't know if that one you also have to have the person with you.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We did the lounge at Club 33 and 1901 the same day, so obviously we had the person with us. Yeah. So I don't know what the rules are.
I did, so to kind of, we can talk a couple Disney Plus things if you want. I'm almost done watching Muppets Christmas Carol, which I have never watched before.
Shock. Are you watching?
No, don't give me that look. I have said many times on this podcast that I do not think the Muppets hold up.
But what? The Muppets Christmas Carol is from the early 90s or something. The fact that it has not been on your radar. Also, in my opinion, the Muppets Christmas Carol is the number one. Well, it's tied because I also love the Mickey's Christmas Carol, but Muppets Christmas Carol is really well done. It's a musical. It's got humor, like the lamp, not the rat, like the lamp, not the rat. And then he pushes them in the water barrel. Like, I love Kermit the Frog and I love Miss Piggy, but Michael Caine's acting with these Muppets is
Michael
like
Caine is amazing. He acts with
chef's
them
kiss.
he acts with the Muppets as if he's acting with the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Seriously, it is
took
so
it-
good.
Michael Caine has said that he took that role 100% seriously, and that's why he's so amazing in that movie.
It is such a good
Just
movie. It is
as just as Tim Curry took playing Hook 100% seriously when he played in Muppet Treasure Island, and that's why he's amazing in that movie. You have to take acting with the Muppets 100% seriously, and you will have an amazing movie with Muppets. Amy Adams and Jason Segel took that 100% seriously, and that's why the first Muppet movie, that Muppet movie, was amazing.
That was a good movie.
Muppets Most Wanted, not so much, because people started to not take it seriously.
Well, and I grew up on the Muppets. My dad loved them. Like, I remember watching the Muppet Show on television. Like, it was so good. And so I've always liked the Muppets. But a Muppet Christmas Carol, even if you don't like the Muppets, it is really, really good. And I had to teach A Christmas Carol when I taught 7th grade English. It's really one of the best adaptations of it. So it's really just kind of amazing. I think the only other actor, though at the time, I don't know how it would have went, but if they ever remade that, Patrick Stewart. Michael Caine is amazing, and I think he's the best. The only other actor I could see playing that would be Patrick Stewart.
Well, Patrick Stewart has his own version of Christmas Carol, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, he could have done
a Christmas Carol on TikTok, by the way. He does like a chapter of TikTok. It's really good too.
Because my only other probably top Christmas Carol adaptation would be Scrooged.
Yes, no, Scrooged is amazing. That's really.
I would have the George C. Scott Christmas Carol in my top 5.
I don't care for that one at all. But
if you ever have a chance to access, or if you have access to Apple, Spirited.
I heard mixed reviews. Did you like it?
Amazing.
Okay.
It was absolutely amazing. It's musical through and through. Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell are absolutely amazing. Octavia Spencer is absolutely amazing in that. It's amazing. It's right up there. It is a spiritual successor to Scrooged. There's a lot of like, oh, that's a very Scrooged thing, but it was good. If you have a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it.
Good to know. I will give it a look because I've been watching a bunch of Christmas stuff. So, what did you think, Dan, thus far?
Well, I haven't finished it yet. I mean, it's okay.
Did you watch?
It's not a puppet, but oh man, Homer Simpson.
Just press play. You didn't watch the one with the restored song.
No, you know what? I just realized that. I just realized that I did that. Because my brother,
fortunately, you have to go into the special features.
Yeah, he was touting about that. So I'm gonna, after I finish this, I'm gonna go back and go watch that scene just so I can see what it added to it. Because he said, oh, even the music, it's like it's reprised a couple of times in the film.
At the end, there's a reprise of the song, which makes no sense if you don't know about the song.
Yeah, he was telling me about that. So I'd forgotten about that until I saw the scene with her in it, and then I was like, "Oh crap, this wasn't the one." Like, it was something else I had to do. It wasn't just the one that was restored. I didn't remember, so I'll go back and do that too.
Did you see the clauses, Dan?
I did. I watched the Santa Clauses. I thought it was pretty good. It's not the first and the second movie, which I really like. I actually watched those. Both the other day. I watched the first movie with the family, and then I watched the second movie with my wife. And then I got into, I don't know why, the next thing that popped up was like, oh, do you want to watch the Santa Claus? I was like, yeah, what the heck, I'll watch the first episode. And my son sat and watched it with me. We both thought it was kind of funny, a little different. and then I went and watched the second one. Then I finished it yesterday as I was doing some stuff around the house.
From what I read, it ends basically having served no purpose. Peaceful Santa Claus.
Sets it up for future. It sets it up for future.
Yes, which they did announce that there will be a season 2 of the Santa Clauses.
It leaves some open doors though for some different stuff to happen. So
if they could do a spin-off with Cal Penn's character, where it's just him and Tim is not in it, then I will watch that. Because I would 100% watch a series with just Cal Penn's character.
Oh, no, and we already knew you were going to say that. That's nothing new. Like you already 100% knew you were going to say that.
I like Cal Penn though.
Oh, I do too. And he's great in this.
Character is kind of like whatever. Like his character, I think. I'll be honest with you. I really feel that his character could have been better written. I don't feel his character was as well written as it could have been. But I will tell you that Tim Allen's daughter, his real daughter, plays his daughter in this. She was surprisingly good. I mean, I kind of thought at first, I'm like, she probably only got the role because of who her dad is. But then the more I watched it, I'm like, no, I think she's really, holding this up on her own. Pretty good. I think that it was good. Like Dan said, is it as good as the first movie or even the second one? No, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it if they continue making them. I'll definitely watch them. I think that there's a lot that could be done with it. It's a cute movie. I think it was better than Hocus Pocus 2 because Hocus Pocus 2 was good, but I think that what they did with the clauses was better. I think that there was more there.
I think it's a way to hand it off to the kids.
Yeah.
Kind of in a way, because their scenes were great. The scenes with the kids were really good. And some of it is totally throwback nostalgia. Some of it is totally throwback nostalgia. But it's not wrong in saying like so much has changed since. I don't even know if they recognize the existence of the third movie. I mean, I guess they do because of the having the kids, but like so much has changed in that time, and just kind of the world and the way technology works.
I mean,
that kind of was the story.
Because I know that I did read that there was dialogue explaining where Bernard was.
Yeah,
he was having a love affair or something with some actress, right?
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, and it explains him being written out of that. That third movie, and it makes connections all over the place, and as always there's a Buzz Lightyear connection.
And I'll tell you, I kind of, as I'm not as old as Tim Allen, obviously he's a lot older than me, but I get where he's coming from, because it's like as we get older, the world is evolving in a way that you're just not necessarily keeping up with. And it's not that you reject it. It's not that you're like, oh, get off my lawn,
Well, some of them do.
It's not necessarily that. It's just you almost feel like outdated, and that's kind of how the movie starts with Tim Allen, is he's like, the world is different, and do they even need me? And do I need this job? And am I the best fit anymore? And so I kind of appreciated that, because I understood where he was coming from. And my own parents, like my mother has often voiced that kind of thing to me. It's not necessarily like I don't agree. Not that she doesn't agree with it. She just doesn't understand it a lot of times.
It's the ones who look at their cell phone like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, I appreciated that aspect of it, of like, I'm getting to a point where I am older and I don't understand things the way that I need to understand them. And, maybe somebody younger and more in touch with society would be a better fit for this. And like, I see it in my profession all the time. There's just a point where you look at somebody and you're like, maybe it's time for you to find a different path, because
And Cal Penn's character is supposed to be some big business guy or something, right?
But he's not that good at it. Like, I'll be honest with you, he's just not good at it. And then there's this whole like side note about like how his wife is dead. He's a widower, and his little girl, and she's trying to spend more time with him. But
he's the antagonist that doesn't know he's the antagonist.
But right. It could have been so much more well written, and his character, and because he's a good actor.
that that whole concept was better written. It was called Santa Claus the Movie, and the antagonist was John Lithgow, who was amazing. Because
Well,
that whole concept of Santa not knowing where his place is or trying to be outdone by big business was already done in that movie in the 80s.
right,
And a
but
lot of movies in the 80s. I mean, Miracle on 34th Street literally deals with that same kind of concept.
well, we all know Hollywood does not often come up with new themes.
No way.
Hold
We-
on. Don't forget that Santa Claus also meant Martians. You can never forget this. And he conquered them.
Santa Claus is a Martian. What are you talking about?
It's just, writing, especially when you're writing for a movie, it's like it has such a predictable plot line. Everything is like super predictable. It's hard because I taught English, and we do a lot of plot maps and all of that stuff. So like I look at something and I'm like, okay. We also love the theme, good versus evil, but when you have movies like this, you don't want somebody who's truly that evil because it's a kids movie, and we don't want kids to know that there are people who don't have redeeming qualities. So we try to write movies where even the antagonist doesn't, like, he has something redeeming in him. And so I think he could have been more well written, but aside from kind of that stuff, I thought it was really well done for the most part. It was cute. It was something different. Open more doors, which I'm always down for. There's the only thing, like, my husband's watching Willow on Disney Plus. It does not have my attention. I'm like half watching it. And so I thought it was better than that. And then I'm waiting for Bad Batch. That's supposed to come. I enjoyed those. But Willow's not that great right now. I'm not loving it.
How dare you? No, I haven't started watching Willow yet. I need to rewatch the original first. A few things that I need to watch the original first before I get into. Well, I don't need to watch the movies before we get into the National Treasure series. I'll probably just jump right into that. Haven't started yet, so we could talk about that next time. I've been watching the Night at the Museum movies, which Dan had his I've never seen before a moment. Now that's my never seen before moment. I hadn't seen any of the Night at the Museum movies. I had seen part of the third one, or most of the third one.
I think I've seen 2 of the 3. I think I've seen the
I
third.
taught middle school history. I've seen them all. We showed middle school history.
So by next episode, we could talk about, if you want, the if you guys check out the animated series, because you guys know there's the animated series on there, where what's his face comes back, the brother from the second movie. Unfortunately, it's not Hank Azaria because none of the voices are. Although the son, because obviously there's a time jump, because I don't know if you guys know what the animated series is about. It's the son has now gone on to become the Night Guard.
Oh.
And he's voiced by Zachary Levi, Shazam.
Mm-hmm. No longer.
Well, yes, no longer, but he still has a movie coming out. So I mean, he's still technically, but
yeah, and I hold on, and I don't want to get into all that. We don't have that kind of time.
No, we don't have that kind of. And then have you guys seen the Guardians holiday?
Yes.
Because talk about
that was
best
so
of
good.
the holiday specials.
Yes.
That is the best thing. Right up there with it was
I'm
pretty.
actually going to watch it again this week because it was so good.
It was amazing.
That is definitely something that you can watch again. It was really, really good.
And there's a lot of things in there that pay attention to that are going to set up for big plot points for the Guardians 3.
Well, I mean, Kevin Bacon is he's so good. And the fact that he's in this and how he plays it and how he acts, and it's like, it was really, really well done.
He's really been embracing that whole thing, because he's been going on all the talk shows and singing that song at the end with that band. And it's just been really hilarious seeing his just embracing that whole.
The soundtrack for that was really good.
Yes.
The soundtrack for that was really good.
The soundtrack for all those movies are so good. Like, I would just pull those up and play them because they're.
I have the extended soundtracks for both movies, the first two Guardian movies, on vinyl. That's how much I love those soundtracks. Yeah. But yeah, that was really good, and it's going to set up a lot of things for the next movie, but also just having a whole lot of fun in it. It was great seeing Drax and Mantis improve over their kind of weird abusive relationship that they almost had in the second movie, where Drax was really mean to her, and they've kind of like improved on that and had them become more of like a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I was shocked at how good that was. It's like, good job, Disney.
Yes.
Couple other quick notes before we're out of here because getting hungry. Strange World drops on Disney Plus on Friday as we record this. So I wanted to see it. I just know this is gonna sound weird. No one kind of wanted to see it with me. So they're like, there hasn't been enough about it like put out there. Yeah, okay, I can kind of see that. Don't have to worry about that anymore because it's coming out on Disney Plus. On Friday there is a like one of those backdrops. It's one of those backdrops to take pictures at the park. It's right next. It's right behind. You know where the Fast Pass machines used to be for Star Tours, and Space Mountain. It's right there. Right, that area right now is a backdrop for Strange World. So that's coming out, and then you'll love this one. Avatar. Avatar underperformed at the box office. It made $143 million opening weekend, and
it did 53. It did 53 first day, and people were making fun because everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, you guys hated Love and Thunder so much more than Avatar did first day," because you know how people love to talk shit about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
it still made more money opening weekend day and weekend, I think, than Avatar did. So, well.
So there's a couple real quick. The couple things. One article I had read mentioned that like James Cameron has a history of his movies being like long runners, which is true. The first Avatar was like 10 weeks in, and wasn't Titanic in the movie theaters for like a year. I mean, honestly, it wasn't so long.
I did not like
that. It's easy for a movie to break records when you leave it in the theater a really long time, isn't it?
Yeah, or bring it back, continuously.
Or bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, I know Star Wars did it too, but that was the purpose for Avatar. So we'll see. The next one is supposedly almost complete, but I don't know. Insiders are saying, depending on how 2 does, it has to clear a certain amount to be considered profitable. And at that point, with Disney's streaming and movies in such a mess, disarray, so to speak, because of the CEO change and all that going on, that they might not get those 5 movies out of it. Just because it doesn't perform. Yeah, I
pity.
The funny part is, I have seen people online in different groups saying, "Oh my God, it was amazing," but then you look at reviews for it and they're not so favorable. It definitely has a higher fan approval than it does a critical acclaim.
I mean, that's sometimes how things go. Sometimes
used to that.
For all the reviewers that get called shills, a lot of movies get really badly reviewed. I mean, it's like, oh, you're such a shill, but I'm going to give this movie a bad review. Well, because it's not a Disney movie. Well, it is though.
Yeah.
So what's your excuse? Are you going to say that you're a Disney shill, or aren't they a Disney shill? Which is it?
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what excuses it has, because it didn't. If it were opening this weekend, you can see why it wouldn't bring in a lot, because this weekend's Christmas, but it opened before. I guess the end of the week this week will really be the tell, because a lot of people just are not working this week. There's a lot of people that aren't at work this week. So we shall see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to hide the fact that I didn't think the first one was incredible at all. I thought it was
I
a
wasn't a
mid-movie
big
at
fan
best.
of Avatar like everybody else is. I also don't like 3D movies. They make me really sick. So I struggle with those. I'm probably not the audience that they're looking for. I didn't like Titanic. I think James Cameron is kind of an a-hole, so like I don't.
Oh yeah, there was a whole story about him coming out of the premiere. Maybe coming out of the premiere and fans asking him for autographs and then started booing him when he wasn't going to do it. So when he drove away, he flipped them all off.
Yeah,
Well, then there's the whole
douche.
some comments that he made after the first one about indigenous people.
Oh, yeah, they're
Not
boycotting
great.
this film too.
Not
Yeah.
great, specifically about Lakota people, about how they should have fought harder.
Yeah, native groups are boycotting this movie.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest, like watching him kind of crash and burn. Not that I wish that on anyone, but I'm like, meh, no, that's fine. I'm not.
There's no doubt.
I don't feel bad for him.
There's absolutely zero doubt that he's a brilliant filmmaker. No, there's zero doubt that he's a brilliant filmmaker.
So.
He's a brilliant filmmaker. He's just not necessarily a great storyteller. Whereas Lucas is a brilliant storyteller. He's just not a very filmmaker.
Yeah.
That's the difference. James Cameron can make a beautiful movie. He's just not very good at making a beautiful story.
Because everybody was saying, even just to back that up, a lot of people were saying this is just kind of rehash of the first movie in water.
The movie's Avatar is beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. If you want to just look at it and not listen to any of the dialogue, just says prequels are beautiful movies if you have the movie on. But Titanic is a beautiful movie. It's just
I used to only watch the first Titanic tape because I never wanted to watch it after I was like, okay, the boat sinks, everyone dies. I don't want to watch that. Like I know how it ends. I'm good. So I have to say I only watched Titanic because, obviously I'm old enough to remember the 2 VHS tapes it came on.
Right.
But I would only watch the first one and then I'd be like, meh, I'm good. And I'd leave. I never really, I only saw it through once. And then after that, I was like, it's fine. But
the trope of turning historical epics into just a big overall love story has broken what could have been a great historical movie. Titanic is one. Pearl Harbor is one.
Oh, that's a terrible movie too.
Well, if you take Ben Affleck out of the movie, or the love story triangle out of that movie, it's actually a really good movie. But
I used to show the attack scene in my U.S. history class because that's actually done well.
Well, yeah, because it's the most accurate. But then those movies are ruined when you put that kind of stuff in there. But yeah, no, I mean, you go back and there's no doubt that Aliens is a fantastic movie. Terminator 2 is a fantastic movie. He's a great director, but he's not. The story part is just. Plus, I mean, my biggest thing I just don't like Sam Worthington. I don't know why. I just don't want to look at him act. Used to really feel that way about Channing Tatum. I would rather watch Channing Tatum act than watch Sam Worthington do anything. I just don't like him. This is bad because I like Sigourney Weaver, but seeing Sigourney Weaver as a big, long, weird blue thing is a little off-putting.
You're not wrong.
So anyway, I guess that's the place to end it. Yeah.
I'd rather watch a whole movie of Stephen Lang's character just blowing shit up than watch anything with that.
Okay. So with that, I think that does it. I can't think of anything else that particularly wanted to talk about. Wanted to get something out before Christmas. Obviously, talk about Christmas at the parks, which have been really nice. There's still a lot of Christmas merchandise left over.
Yeah, I'm hoping there will be a big winter blowout. I'd love to see some discount on some merch. In Florida, they did like a 30% for APs. And I'm wondering if it's because of the fact that they had so much down there.
Yeah, that might be. We might see something after the new year. Like I said, all of them are blocked now. There was no indication that it was the last day. It didn't seem any busier than any other day I've been there during the season. As I looked at the app a little bit ago as we were talking, even today, I don't see anything much different than what it would be on a normal day like today, except the fact that there's no pass holders in the park, except for the few people that have the dream key. But
speaking of merch,
had a lot of fun.
Quick. Speaking of merch, real quick, how about that amazing, stylish, awesome Centennial merchandise that they announced? Oh my God, it's so hideous, and I don't even know who the hell would want any of that. I didn't see a single. Have you guys seen the 100th stuff?
Yeah, it's in the parks.
There's nothing in there that's.
I got a cute T-shirt. She will never listen to this podcast, for my husband's niece, for my niece. And it's super cute. It says 100. It's long sleeve, has Mickey and Minnie on it. It's like a light purple. It was really cute.
What I saw in that press release about all the 100th merchandise, none of it looked good at all.
The black hoodie looked okay. I saw the black hoodie.
I saw the black hoodie in person. It's nice. I actually saw somebody wearing it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's nice. That's probably going to be one of the better sellers of stuff. There's a lot of like ornaments, and the first pins have been out. Those are okay. The Starbucks.
I think that there seems to be some confusion with Disney about what the colors for 100th are.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of purples. And
purple is supposed to be the proper color for a Centennial, but
they're going with platinum.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why I'm like, the platinum just seems weird. It seems very extra. Like it's like all of those Disney pops where they have the diamond version, and it's just a bedazzled pop that's been bedazzled, and it's all just glittery. It feels like they're doing the same thing with theirs. So they're just taking everything and just bedazzling it.
Make it shiny.
I don't know that I've seen bedazzling like that versus some stuff that's definitely the platinum color.
Well, just the color it just seems over where they would just. Oh, and then melty thing. Yeah, don't even get me started on the melty.
It's hideous, and it looks disgusting.
Have you seen the clear one
with the drippy thingy on them, and it just looks disgusting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Several things.
What are you talking about?
You haven't seen the drippy stuff?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
There's several pieces of merchandise that has the drippy, melty thing. There's an ears, I think, that are melty.
What I showed.
I think there's an actual ears that are melty, I think. And then there was I saw something that was like a clear, something clear that was like melty. It was just the melty thing is very weird. I don't know who they're appealing to. I'm sure they're gonna sell lots of it, but to all the people that they had all that wonderful blue and gold or blue and silver merchandise that they had for the 60th, that was really pretty. That I don't know what the hell they're doing with this. This is the 100th.
That was nice stuff.
So far the branding that I've seen for the I didn't even know that was happening, which they maybe just jumped on the bandwagon. The 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers Studios, which has now all of a sudden has a bunch of branding coming out. I like theirs better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty. Disney sometimes is hit and miss with their merch. Sometimes it's fire, and sometimes you're just like, no, I'm gonna pass on that.
So they have some other cute stuff that's come out that's not 100th related. Last night, I'm not getting it. It's just what I saw. We were shopping around. They have a quote unquote spirit jersey that has it's got Mickey on it in a couple different places. It's black. It's cute. I was looking at it.
I feel like the fire stuff is probably going to come later in the year, and that the 100th was an afterthought.
Maybe
but they spent so much time on the 50th of Walt Disney World, and then the pandemic, and then everything that's happened with Chopek and all that the 100th ended up being kind of like an afterthought. And at the last minute, they realized, oh my God, it's about to be our 100th anniversary. We need to do something.
I don't know,
So
because
I feel like there's going to be a lot better stuff coming later in the year.
they had a bunch of the 100 stuff at D23, so it was on display in the store.
Is it the same stuff we're seeing now?
Some of it, yes, and the only thing that I haven't seen anything about is the platinum ears. The metal ones, I haven't seen that kind of stuff, but some of it is stuff that, like, I don't know that I've seen it in the parks yet, but I know I have seen pictures of it. Whatever, man. It's like I was never going to get any of that anyway. Like I said, I that Spirit jersey that I saw was cuter, and it was like, I don't know, $60, and then I saw another hoodie that was the color of the 60th, that blue, that really pretty blue, that had the D on it. I forgot what it said on the back, but it was really nice too. Like, there is some stuff right now that's like, oh, that's cool looking. They're pushing the jackets right now because it's cold, and a lot of them, like those kind of like those puffer jacket looking things are in right now. So they have a couple of those that look similar to that, and then that like fuzzy shag stuff, which is kind of into. I've seen some of those. So they do have there's some nice stuff right now out that is not 100th anniversary related. That I don't intend to get any of it. I just was shopping around looking for stuff. My brother was, and I was like, oh, I'm just looking at different stuff. I'm like, that's cool. They got some cool stuff. So I don't know about the 100 stuff, but I know there is some cool stuff that they do have for sale that will move. So if they don't make their money with the 100 stuff, they'll definitely make it with the other stuff. So
It's Disney, they make their money.
For sure.
I think that will do it.
Yes.
Before we go, the last thing real quick is today, as we speak, is 85th anniversary of Snow White.
Oh.
Well.
You had some good white merch, actually. That's probably why.
You know what? They do. Actually, no, I can't say what, but like, yeah, they actually do have some Snow White merch right now. And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, quite a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't, and it wasn't intentional. Just as we were looking at stuff.
Right now, when you said that, my brain went, oh, probably why they did that.
Why?
Yeah, there actually is quite a bit right now, which, wasn't a thing. That's not, I don't mean this the way that it sounds, but it's so old. There's like this new generation didn't grow up on Snow White. But yeah, there actually is a lot right now that I think about it. So, cool. Well, happy anniversary to Snow White. Merry Christmas to you too. This will be out before Christmas. And I will say Happy New Year. 2023 coming up. We'll see what 2023 brings us.
If we could watch some, get on watching some of those Disney Plus shows, then
yeah, I do want to watch. I'm going to wait till after the holiday, but I do want to watch Enchanted and Disenchanted. I do want to watch.
Oh yeah,
those too.
You do need to watch those.
Yeah, so I'll try it on there.
Night at the Museum series, the National Treasure series.
Maybe I'll watch the holiday special. We'll see.
Yeah.
The Lego one.
Oh. Yes.
The Lego one, which is probably much better because I've seen the original. Okay. I'm going to call it.
All right. See you guys later. I got to go make cookies.
Yeah, you
Fun.
All right, see you later.
Yummy. All right. Bye.
Disney Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. Follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Dan's Disney Adventures. Follow me on TikTok at Danzig77. It's DANSZIG77. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook at The Disney Culture. Thanks for listening. See you real soon.